fun back in Canada.
Absolutely did. Yeah, we show before yesterday was in Indianapolis, which is about an 11-hour drive. So as soon as we were done for the day, we packed up, hightailed it for the border, and yeah, got to spend most of the day at home. It was lovely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the weather was a little nicer yesterday than today too.
Yeah, it was a lot nicer yesterday.
We lucked out.
Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about the fact that you got to spend Canada Day in the States and everyone else got to spend 4th of July up here?
We really flip-flopped it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We missed Canada Day being in the States. We still had our own little celebration, but what can you do? You deal with it as it is. I think a lot of people in the American bands yesterday waited to cross the border, so they hung out in like Buffalo and had a 4th of July celebration there, and then came up. So I think they got the better end of the deal there. We were in the heart of America when we had to move for Canada. Yeah.
Make your own fun. Did you make it out to the Jays game yesterday?
Didn't.
Oh, a bunch of people headed out to that.
Yeah, I think a couple of my friends went even. But what did I do? Laundry. Did laundry. I took a shower. Had a nap. It's a very exciting day.
Yeah. Well, getting to be back in your own bed.
It's nice. It's very nice.
So Paul Mark has been touring with you guys for a bit, and he's been friends of yours forever. So having him come along is kind of a natural choice. But has it changed any of the dynamic of touring at all?
Absolutely. We already knew we got along really well with Paul Mark because he had worked for us in various different positions. He did merch at one point, he has guitar tech, and he's actually even played in the band before. I hurt my back and had to miss out on a European tour once, and he, like, 8 hours to go, learned a set and played my parts for me. And then I think Bill had to go home for a funeral one time, and he played bass for Bill. So like he knows the band, we know him, we mesh really well. Getting to actually like make it official and go on the road has been amazing. Yeah. The biggest change I think is just that we're all hanging out, having fun a lot more than we ever used to. It's fun. A lot of fun.
So you've gone from touring like on an international level to coming back and playing more, which is such a North American staple. What's the kind of difference between the two?
That's a good question. I know the biggest difference between basically any other type of touring and Warped Tour itself seems to be there is a Warped Tour crowd that like go to Warped Tour every year, and that might be the only concert they go to the whole year long. So like I'm seeing faces that I remember, I recognize, I've seen them around, but I haven't seen them in 4 years or whatever since we last did Warped Tour. It's almost like they don't know that we do like club tours and stuff like that. It's as if we only exist on Warped Tours. It's been nice to be back on it and get in front of some of those faces again. I think there's actually a lot of them. Like, it's surprising.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just wait to Warped. That's probably the biggest difference. Like, we go all over the world and see the same people for the most part, but whether we're at a big festival or a little club show or whatever, they're always coming out. Here, club shows are good, Warped is awesome. It's just that Warped Tour crowd.
Has anything, do you think, changed since you did Warped 4 years ago, besides the fact that the Toronto venue's changed?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few different venues, but that's not the only thing that hasn't changed by any means. There's a lot of young bands now. It's weird because even when we did it 4 years ago, we were still one of the younger bands. You know, like, 'cause, like we had Bad Religion and NoFX, bands like that headlining it, and now we're one of the older, more seasoned bands, which is an interesting position to be in. With all these younger bands that are coming up, and like a lot of them are really blowing up, doing very well, but have not been around for it. I don't even know half of them.
Yeah.
So like there's some guy that's a big deal, like behind me in catering, and I'm like, I don't know, you're just some guy to me, just some other band guy. I don't know. I have a hard time keeping up with some of these newer, younger bands. I don't know who they are.
And you guys have been together for over 10 years now, so you really found a way to work together as a band and to establish yourselves. And I do think, after seeing you set today, even that you do have quite a crowd in Toronto. So
Yeah.
I really enjoy seeing you. But do you think you have any like wisdom to pass on to the now younger bands?
I think when we were coming up, just everything was different. Like we didn't use the internet the same way to push our music. We didn't have cell phones, and I don't know. lot of these young guys have an ego. We have to come up paying dues. But now it seems like you can just put a song online and do the next big thing. I don't know. I think learning to be humble and take this whole role with a bit of humility is a good tip for me.
Now with that, I've interviewed Paul Mark before for Personal Growth.
Yeah.
And he had sort of the opposite mentality, where he really liked the idea of releasing songs online and not putting the money into touring.
I get that, but again, he's younger.
Yeah.
See, he's of that new mindset. I can appreciate not wanting to be out on the road like most of the year, but I don't know. It seems to have worked well for us to be a band this long and to be able to keep doing tours and have new people coming out as well as old fans. Like, we've continually grown throughout the whole process, whereas even in our relatively short time, I've seen a bunch of bands come up way bigger than us just to fall to almost nothing again. So I think you gotta put the time in and really grind it out and make those hardcore fans that are gonna keep coming back. And I think that might be where that difference lies. Somebody that can just download something on the internet and then is the song of the summer or whatever for them, it's so much more disposable. They're going to be on to the next big thing next summer.
Yeah.
You know, whereas if you keep coming around and grinding it out, hopefully you make a lasting impression.
One of the things you've done that is kind of old school when you look at it, though it's kind of a revivalist nature now, the split that you did with August Burns Red.
Yeah.
Doing even a limited release, did you get a really good reaction to something like that?
Yeah, a lot of people were freaking out and being like, well, where can I order it online? And we're like, that's exactly the point that we're trying to make here is like, go to the record store and line up and get it. Like, go to a record store and pick through looking for things. And you might find something you didn't even know you wanted. Hi, I'm Josh from Silverstein, and you're watching AdmitOneMedia.